60.
Are you the only one left running?
Glenn has it too. Glenn picked Bucks. Next week I saw the Niners.
Dude, I gotta show you my DraftKings. I went a little. Oh shit! I can't play this music.
Oh no!
Stop. They're gonna block me on all channels. Gosh,
no way.
No, I'm gonna get blocked. Hopefully that doesn't block me. Well, it won't block me on the YouPorn. They don't block me.
No.
They're a lot nicer over there.
Oh yeah, I got the spread.
My little miracle is Beckett.
Oh, hi Beckett.
A month after his third.
Oh, Beckett. Toy Story 3. Yeah, you got after we're done, I'll show you my DraftKings. I got some juice going because I went heavy. I went like 9 bills heavy on Lions.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I had a feeling 3 games in 18 days, and you play the 2 Super Bowl winners or play teams from last year, and then get the Lions who were in deep.
They were fighting though.
But they did. They didn't quit, other than Pickens. Pickens wasn't fighting for shit. Sherman called him out, and he kind of lost his shit.
He did.
Oh, can you hit the Donnie cam? The Sky cam? The Donnie cam. The creek bed cam? All right, thank you. Before we go into spreads, though, I got to tell a story about Finn's car. Dude, it's already hot. All right, we got a big audience already. There's plenty of wake and breakers. I got these in case you need them.
What are those?
Toe spreaders.
Oh, wow.
The gal that stretches me, she said, you have some, like your dad, when he pucks his feet up when he plays pickleball every time. What do you have going on the bottom? It's like pop something on the bottom of his foot. So you'll see when you get older. Well, maybe.
Yeah,
you're lucky. If that could be the least of your problems. Yeah. All right, welcome in everybody. This is Sapphire 5. Sapphire 5. Let me glove up. You know, the funny thing about GPK breakers wearing gloves is that this is a garbage product. It's a garbage pail, kids. We're supposed to have boogers on our hands, right? That's how it was when we were kids. And now we're gloving up to open up booger packs. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Wow, we should be picking our nose and wiping snot on the cards, but we don't do that around here. Not anymore, anyway. We stopped that practice last year. I think it was last year we ended that practice. All right, here we go. This is Sapphire 5. We have, okay, so I have some stories. Well, at least one story. Tell me a story. Rusty came over today and he said, I want to hear some stories. I said, I got one story. Okay, so, well, first off, we got a story about a green Dean, 298, 35 out of 99, 298, 35 out of 99. That's busted Armand Gilliam. And, man, I took last week off, didn't I? That was, I take a week off and I forget who that is. That's Felix Bachman-Turner Overdrive, right? I think so. If not, we'll give it to John Duncan. One of the two. It's one of the two of you. My brain's for sizzled. There it is, a Satire base card. We've been looking for that one. Okay, so my kiddo turned 16, and we got a Billy Bling in the gold. I can't get a story in. Satire 9, 23 out of 50 on the gold. Billy showing the bling. And how about a shuffle with Sherman? That is Dennis Berry, 266B, 10 out of 25. 10 out of 25 on the 266B. Cooking with gas. I like that Billy Bling. We haven't seen that guy come around. We did pull a red Billy Bling at one point. We did. I'd like to pull the 101 on that bad boy. That'd be a fun one. James Tyrus would say, thank you for the one ski. Well, we'll see. Oh shit!
Keeps getting.
It is. Well, I'm getting interrupted.
Oh,
I get interrupted. Kettle Gretel, all new 2B, 79 out of 99. All new 2B, 79 out of 99. That's Kyle and Helene. Okay, here's the story. My kiddo turned 16, and we haven't had a third car uh, at our house for what, 5 years? Because last time my oldest son turned 16, 5 years ago, um, he decided that he would drive blind on his way to his friend's house and flip the car over. That is a Elastic Elwood 272A, 1975, the best year ever. 10 years before Garbage Pail Kids, 272A, 1975, Elastic Elwood. All right, so yeah, so got my oldest son a car for both of us to drive, and yeah, he flipped it upside down, and that was into that car, and we didn't buy another one. We kept it at 2 cars again, back to 2 cars. And that's its own story, so I don't want to go into that whole shit show. You know that story already, anyway. Yeah, he decided to just close his eyes and take the corners a little too fast. So anyway, here comes kiddo number 2, and we got a purple Christmas 254A. Yeah, 5 out of 50. That's Christopher Gong 254A, 5 out of 50, and Bent Brent 3 out of 10, 282B. 282B. So Fin Dog, we get him. Okay. I'm a horrible storyteller because I'm trying to rip TPK and I'm trying to see who's on 282, and that is James Tyrus, 3 out of 10, 282B. Okay, so just a quick cliff note on the other story is my oldest son totaled the car. We let him drive a shitty 2002 Jetta that was a stick shift, and he became a better driver because it was a stick shift. By the way, how many kids can drive stick shifts these days? How many kids? Show of hands. Kids, show of hands. How many kids? Can you drive a stick shift? Yeah, I didn't think so.
If one of my driving tests use some
Shoot. Nancy can't even drive a stick shift. What am I asking you for over here? Nancy can't even drive a stick shift. So, anyway, I grew up in Southern Oregon, and that's all we drove were stick shifts. And so, my oldest son, I taught him how to drive a stick shift, and he was not happy with how I taught him. Satire One. That's a Satire One's card. Why am I looking at that one? But so he became a better driver because then he couldn't smoke cigarettes, text on his phone, scroll through reels while he was driving. It really neuters the ADHD that these kids have these days because they're busy with their hands. They got to drive with one and shift with the other. So it's tricky to do all 5 things at once. 278A, have a nice day. 35 out of 99. 278A, 35 out of 99. Now, I had an uncle in California, Orange, California, and he used to drive. I used to watch him drive. He would drive an automatic with 2 feet. So he would have 1 foot on the gas and 1 foot on the brake, and you drive with 2 feet, kind of like you would with a stick. And I had never seen that before. You ever seen somebody drive with 2 feet on an automatic?
No.
It's usually 1 foot on the gas, and you move it over to the brake.
Yeah, when you need it.
My uncle, he said, no, it's easier to drive with 2 feet. I'm like, wow, I don't know. Maybe that's kind of like how in Southern Oregon we drove with 2 feet with a stick because one you'd have to shift with and one you give it the gas. But different story there in Southern California. Alligator will he'll know California drivers right there when he sees one. 267B, 44 out of 75, braided brandy. 267B, braided brandy, 44 out of 75. So back to the original story that I was trying to tell, but I was rudely interrupted by some Sapphire 5 purples and Billy Blings. Was we my son said, "You know what, Dad? I heard all those stories about my oldest son not being able to drive until he learned to drive a stick. So you know what, Dad? Why don't you buy me a stick that we both can drive?" And I was like, "I like that idea. How about I get you a stick?" 292B, 1 out of 50. Clip Claude, 292B. That's John Dunkin' Donuts, 1 out of 50 on the Goldilocks. And a Marsha, 283B, 23 out of 99. 283B, 23 out of 99 on that bad boy. So we scour the earth for a stick shift. Go to dealerships, looking around for used cars, the whole nine. And what we found was there's just not a ton of stick shifts out there in Portland, Oregon. Just not a ton of them. They're either really shitty, broke down cars, or they're really expensive, because what they do now, with these car dealerships are doing now with stick shifts, is they're making them kind of an exclusive car. We're only getting one in, and it's got every upgrade you can imagine. I'm like, I don't need every upgrade. But do you have Apple Play? I could use Apple Play if you got that. Nope, that's part of all the upgrades. I'm like, screw you. 259B, 10 out of 99. Well done. 259B, 10 out of 99. So Oxnard, California. Why is this important? Well, stick with me here. Stick with me. Oxnard, California. I won't mention the dealership because I probably get sued for defamation of something. Oh my God. They'll say, someone from Oxnard, where this dealership is, that's stuttering Stanley on the satire card. They'll probably say, "Hey, boss, I was watching YouPorn, and I saw this crazy breaker guy talking about our shop, and he was saying some shit." Well, you're right. You're right. First of all, why are you on YouPorn at work, coworker? That's a Monte Carlo all new 7B, 38 out of 75. All new 7B, 38 out of 75. So we finally find a low mileage car with it's a stick that we were looking for, but it's in Oxnard, California. I have to have it shipped up to me. 278B, 13 out of 50. 13 out of 50 on the 278B. So I talk with the dealership, talk with this guy. He's like, yeah, super clean, 8,000 miles. It's a Butte, Clark. And I'm like, really? All right. I'm going to go ahead and take it. How about an orange broom with Bruno Mars, 270B, 270B, Dennis Berry with a 6 out of 25, 6 out of 25 on the Dennis Berry. So I go all through the whole rigmarole with buying the car. I get it. They ship it up to me. It takes 3 weeks to finally get to me. It finally lands. I'm headed to Vegas. I'm headed to Vegas for GrossCon. I'm headed to Vegas for GrossCon. So I drive the car twice. My son drives it once. My oldest son, who I was nervous about driving it since he already totaled one car, he drove it a couple times. 251B, 66 out of 99. 251B, or is that 57? 257B. 66 out of 99 on the dotted line. I have to look at that one. That one's giving me fits with my eyes. That is Angelo, always getting a hit on that spot. Plays it off and on, and he finds a hit. So anyway, I finally get the car. We're test driving it. It is clean. It's got 8,000 miles. It looks like a brand new car. Not a brand new Kia, but pretty close. That's another Monte Carlo on the all new 7B. All new 7B. And that is Tyrus. 35 out of 50, 35 out of 50. Rusty's getting nervous with the story. He's pacing back and forth. He can barely contain himself. 274A, 36 out of 75. 274A. Lance Anderson on the 36 out of 75. So while I noticed this weird smell, like a burning smell that comes from the car. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. Maybe they just changed the oil and it's burning off. I don't know. It's just a weird smell. And while I'm in Vegas at GrossCon, so it's like day 4 of owning the car. So I'm in Vegas, and my oldest son's driving it, which again is making me nervous. And he goes, "Dad, this car's got a weird smell. It smells like," I go, "Well, describe the smell to me." And he goes, "It's the smell of if I was getting cancer, that's what it smells like." And I'm like, "That's a weird fucking smell. How do you come up with that smell?" He's like, "No." He goes, "I feel like if I'm going to keep driving this car, I'm going to get cancer." I'm like, it had a weird smell, but I don't know what getting cancer smells like. But okay, I guess that's what it smells like. Brainless Brian, 262A, 35 out of 99, the 262. 262. That's Ryan Preston on the 35 out of 99. 35 out of 99. So I'm flying home from GrossCon. I'm flying home. I'm pondering life. You know, I lost a lot of money, had some good dinners, hung out with some awesome people, and I'm going through it. You know, maybe had a couple bad dances at a strip club. I don't know. I'm just going through all the thanks for the memories. And while I'm in the air, my Ring app goes off. And I'm like, okay, I look at my who's at the door, and there's this heavy set guy, maybe a heavy stepper, was pacing back and forth in front of my door. And I was like, man, this guy's sweating in front of my door, pacing back and forth. And I'm like, what is going on with this guy? So I text my that's a striking Stanley, another stuttering Stanley on the satire card. So I text my oldest son. I go, dude, go check the door out, but be careful. This guy looks like a nervous Nelly, pacing back and forth. Another orange for Helene and Kyle. That would be the combo name, Colleen. Not Colleen, but Colleen. All new 2B Kettle Gretel, 7 out of 25. All new 2B Kettle Gretel, 7 out of 25. So this guy's pacing back and forth. I see my son on the Ring app poke his head out and look at what this guy's talking about. And I can see my son just kind of go, oh shit. And then he goes back inside the house. My wife comes out. It's this whole little circus. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? This guy in this GMC SUV plowed into the back of this car that I've owned for 5 days with 8,000 miles that smells like cancer. And I was like, oh shit. My son's like, Dad, it's pretty bad. I'm like, how bad? He's like, well, the guy that smoked into the back. Mind you, this is in a residential area where most people drive 10 miles an hour. And I've lived for like 15 years and I've never seen anything like this before. So, anyway, short story longer, 256B. This guy decided to make it longer. 73 out of 99 at 256B. 73 out of 99. So, short story longer, what happened next? Well, tune in tomorrow and we'll find out. No, I'm going to tell you now. So what happened next was I flew in, landed, went and looked at the car. His car had to be towed away. That's how hard he hit it. The dude in the GMC Yukon or whatever the fuck it was, he hit it so hard he had to be towed away. So if that tells you anything about this I can't tell you the name of the car. I can't tell you the car because it it'll tell you the dealership, and then I'll have defamation on my hands with some right now an employee sitting on Pornhub watching this stream. So Donnie Dumbbell, all new 3A, 45 out of 99, all new 3. Strong Manny, that is Brian Redland. This spot is open next week if anybody wants a pad. If it doesn't hit this week, he's had it for a long time, so you know the pad's going to hit next week. Take the pad challenge, 45 out of 99, 45 out of 99 on that one. If you take the pad challenge and the pad hits next week, you get a Sapphire 5 seal box. How's that? How's that for the pad challenge? But what if we hit it today? Well, you have to claim it now. And if it hits today, right now, if it hits in this break, you're fucked. That's a Sammy satire on the 5. You owe me. So if I hit it in this break, not only are you fucked for next week, but you also owe me a Sapphire 5 box. No, I would never do that to you. Okay, so, but seriously, if you want to take the pad challenge next week on that Donnie Dumbbell, we'll see. Maybe it hits. Stretch Stacy, Satire 3, 47 out of 50. Satire 3, 47 out of 50. Stretch it with Stacy. That is Lance doing the pee-pee dance. That is 255B. The Gong Show finds a 61 out of 75. 2555B, 61 out of 75. What happened next, Scott? Says nobody ever. Well, this is what happened next. I don't have a history of crashing cars nor being crashed into cars other than my son's story before that. So I have no clue about diminished value. I have no clue about using his insurance versus mine. But the guy was nice enough to give us his insurance stuff, which was pretty cool. He didn't do a hit and run. Or in this case, a hit. How about this? A hit and tow. Can you imagine? He's calling the tow. Get this car out of here now. Get it out. They're pushing it away over to the corner. This wasn't us. So he gave me all of his insurance information, which is a headache. That's a Sandy Claude, 1 out of 25, 254B, 1 out of 25. That's the Gong Show. So I'm going through my insurance. I'm going through his insurance. It's 2 weeks of back and forth. Them telling me this. Should I use mine? Should I use his? In the state of Oregon, I have to use his insurance in order to get diminished value on my car. What is diminished value? Diminished value is where your car gets smoked into while you're in Vegas and you get it repaired. And after it's repaired, it's now damaged. So you lose value when you go to sell it on the resale market. So if I was to go resell the car, I lose value. So it's called diminished value. And in the state of Oregon, you have to go through the perpetrator's insurance, not your own, to get diminished value. All new 6A, 20 out of 99. All new 6A, 20 out of 99. So I'm totally blind, leading the blind with this stuff, trying to figure out what's going on. And by the way, I'm going to circle back on the cancer smell in just a minute. That comes into the story. At some point, it comes into the story. So I'm doing all this research on diminished value. I'm looking for a good car shop to do the work on. I know nothing about auto body work like that. I rely on Phantom for my car. He's my car expert. He's my professional car guy, and so he's giving me some advice. Fill up 280B, 45 out of 50. 280B. So this is a lot of research on my end. That's James Tyrus, 45 out of 50. A lot of research on my end. 252A, 46 out of 75. 252A, 46 out of 75. Wait a minute. Everybody have fun tonight. Everybody wink on tonight. There we go. Wayne. Let's get it. I almost drove right by that one, Wayne. I'm sorry.
We almost did, but then the Milky Way came out.
All right, back to it. I find this obscure company. That's a satire card. I find this obscure company that charges $500, and they handle all the work for you. I don't know if I was up late or I was on Instagram or how I found these guys, but I paid them $500, and they're doing the dirty work for me. They're doing the loss of value report. They're doing the appraisal post, all the work. 276B, 47 out of 99. The banana hammock. That's Ashley with the banana hammock. 276B, 47 out of 99. By the way, I'm telling this story in December. GrossCon was in September. That's how long it's been. And by the way, just a little note, still not driving the used new car. Still not driving it. So in December now. So I hire this company. It's a really obscure company. They do all the dirty work for you, whatever. I didn't do a lot of homework with it. It was just kind of I need some help. So they're giving me some advice. Maybe not good, maybe bad. I don't know. That is a J Prey, 12 out of 75 on the 274B. 12 out of 75 on the 274B. And that is Lance doing the dance. What happened next? So the auto body shop did all the work, got it up nice, and took them 2 months, by the way, because he smoked the shit out of it. By the way, they should have totaled out the car. They should have totaled out the car and just given me all my money back. The cost to have the repair done through the insurance, $16,000. That was the cost of the repair. So I go pick up the car last week. I have to take an Uber to these guys because nobody wanted to help me out with a ride. 273B, 41, all the way to Vancouver, Washington. 273A, 41 out of 99. 41 out of 99. So I get to Vancouver. I meet with this guy. He's like, dude, look at the work. And I'm like, oh, looks good. Thanks. Great. He goes, I wanted to tell you something, though. I'm like, what? He goes, this has nothing to do with the accident, but there's a strange smell coming from the car. And I was like, fuck you. You couldn't fix that? He's like, it's coming from your clutch. I'm like, the car has 8,000 miles. Why is this strange smell coming from the clutch? And he's like, I don't know. So instead of bringing the car home to teach my son how to drive a stick, because he still doesn't know how to drive a stick, that's a goal. Oh, boom! 260A. Adam, boom, 11 out of 50 on the 260A. Let's go. James Tyrus with a little boom. That was me when I found out the car got crashed into. I had a little kaboomski on the snakes on a plane. Got you there. Look at that. We got the brothers up today, Billy Bling and Adam's boom. How about a rip, dude? This spot. What's going on with the snake? We got spider legs going. 274A, 59 out of 99. 274A, 59 out of 99. Let's go. Lance says, "Give me some snake. Snakes like sugar." No, that's not how it goes. Anyway, he tells me it stinks. Blah blah blah. So instead of driving the car home, I decide to take it to my local dealership because I paid for the extended warranty and the car is only 2 years old, so it has a warranty. Sapphire 4. So I drop it off at this dealership. I'm like, guys, first of all, the battery's not holding strong because that's what they told me there. There's a strange smell coming from the clutch. Can we give this car a once over and figure out what this strange smell is? And he's like, okay. He goes, I go. Here's the deal. He goes, how would you describe the smell? And I told him, I go, well, you ever thought of what the smell of getting cancer smells like? And he's like, no, I've never heard that before. Well, that's what it smells like. It smells like you're getting cancer when you're driving the car. No, no, he didn't. That's a Haley comment. I did tell the guy in Vancouver. I go, well, 286A, 13 out of 75, 13 out of 75. And then he kind of looked at me funny. And I go, okay, it smells like you get a little you would get nauseated if you drove it for like an hour. And he's like, oh, then he goes, ooh, that's not good. And I'm like, yeah. I go, it doesn't smell right. And I go, and it smells like, because I didn't know, but I go, it smells like it's coming from the clutch. And he's like, okay, we'll take a look at it. So now I got this car in September. This is of 3 days ago, by the way. So it's December, whatever, 5th now, 6th now, who knows what date it is, but it's December something. So about 3 days go by, and the guy says he's going to get right back to me. I'm like, hey, so what's the deal with my car? They gave me a loaner, by the way, a really nice loaner. That's nice, dude. It's sweet. 267A, tongue-tied Tina, 9 out of 99. 267A, 9 out of 99. Who's on that one now? That is dollar bill, yo. It's dollar bill. Remember dollar bill from the Chrome 4 days? He's back. He said he's back in the saddle again, wanting to play some stuff. Welcome back, dollar Billski. How about a jackpot can opener? All new. That's Cyrus on the 32 out of 50. All new 7A. All new 7A. 32 out of 50. So, he's like, well, here's the deal. The clutch is shredded. He goes, you need a new clutch. And I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah. I go, dude, it has 8,000 miles on it. Who drove this before me? I go, how could you ruin the clutch in 8,000 miles? And I was thinking of my uncle that drove with 2 feet. Maybe this guy just drove all the way down the road with 2 feet, always letting the clutch halfway out. Not all the way out, but just grinding the shit out of the clutch for 8,000 miles. And then they decided to trade it in, give it back to me. So the clutch is burned out, and he goes, let's see, that's a Gladiator Glen, Jeremy Keller spoken, all new 1B, 68 out of 75, all new 1B, 68 out of 75. So he goes, we're all backed up. We're backed up. You're not getting this car back until late January. And I go, what? He goes, yeah. So my son came home from school, and I had to tell him, hey, that new car we got you in September, you're going to get it in late January sometime. Is that okay? And he's like, what the fuck, Dad? I'm like, hey, I wanted to teach you to drive a stick, but too bad. Now, here's the question. As I'm dealing with diminished value. I got this car repaired. I got to get the appraisal done. It's still not even registered in Oregon. I don't have plates on it. Again, bought the car in September. Still, all this shit needs to happen. And now it needs a new clutch, and they're going to work on it up until late January. And they were nice enough to let me keep the loaner car until late January when it's due back, which is really cool. 278B, 12 out of 99. 278B, 12 out of 99. And here's the end of the story. is I decided to call the dealership up. And I had a conversation with the dealership in September about the smell in the car because my son told me again. I was like, I'm going to call them up and just see what the F is going on with this car. So I call them up. This is back in September. We had this conversation. They made me feel really stupid, which is not hard to do, by the way, to make me feel really stupid. Okay, you're smarter than me. Okay, I feel stupid right now. So I call the dealership up that I bought the car from. I'm like, hey, what's with the cancer-causing smell? My son's saying this smells like cancer. And he goes, that's a blasted Billy 260B. Finally, we get one for you, Danielle. Finally, Mrs. Phantom GPK finds a little love on the 45 out of 75 260B. So when I called the dealership up, the salesman said, hold on, let me put you on speakerphone because I asked him the question about what the smell is coming from the car. And he gets this expert in. The car has 8,200 miles, whatever. He goes, okay, look, that smell burns off after 10,000 miles. And I was like, what? 10,000 miles for a smell to burn off? He's like, yes. He did. 10,000 more miles. Yeah, I'm like, I'm almost there. I just got to drive in a circle pull a Ferris Bueller and just let the car run for 1,500 miles. What the hell? So he goes, the reason why it smells like that is in Japan, where the car's from, they put this undercoat on to keep from the travel from Japan to the United States to keep the car from corroding from the salt water. And I was like, really? And he's like, yes, they put this coating on there, very common with these cars, and it takes about 10,000 miles for that to burn off. Once it burns off, you'll be good. And I was like, that's crazy. So I got to get cancer for 1,500 more miles. Yeah. So, and I'm listening to this guy and I'm like, oh, I just nod my head going, okay. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. All right. Good to know. So here goes. How about a red Sapphire 273B? Lance doing the pee-pee dance again. 273B. Lance with a 1 out of 5 on the Happy Hera. Let's go, Lance. And then, of course, a hit and Ronnie. 285B, 20 out of 99. 285B, 20 out of 99. So here I am looking at this red Sappy Sarah while I'm in my car talking to this guy. And I'm like, okay. So gonna believe you. So I told my son, I go, look, it's just this stuff that they put on the car from Japan, and that's it. Don't worry about it. It'll burn off. It's good. I'm trying to really sugarcoat this like they did in Japan to make this car better because right now I'm feeling pretty stupid for buying a lemon. Okay, I'm feeling pretty stupid for buying a lemon that got smoked into the back of, and it smells like cancer. So I'm on the Google, I'm on the internet, and I'm looking for weird smell under this car. Is it normal to come from Japan and smell like this? Royal flush, 37 out of 75, 266A, 37 out of 75. And I'm not finding anything. And by the way, you can find anyone on the interwebs that'll agree with your point of view. You can always find it. You can always find, hey, did this dealership lie to me? No, they're telling the truth. That's you can find whatever you want on the interwebs, but I couldn't find much to confirm their story. So anyway, yeah. So I called him back yesterday. Gave him the what for. I was like, look, I talked to the same guy, and he remembered me because when I buy something from you that doesn't quite go right, you'll get to know me a little bit better. It's just how I work. You get to know me a little bit better. I sit down and have dinner with your family once or twice, and you're like, why is this guy here again? Well, because you fucked me over. That's why I'm here again. All right, that is Modern Art, 58 out of 75, all new 4B, 58 out of 75 on the all new 4B. So anyway, this guy's like, Mr. Calvert, how you doing? And I could tell he knew who he was and didn't really want to talk to me on the phone. And I go, hey, listen here, Jerky. We remember when you told me that story and you kind of made me feel stupid with you and your buddy in your office, and you were put me on speakerphone. Lick Larry, Sapphire 5. Oh boy, it's an orange for Larry. Larry, I'm gonna steal your shit. Orange, you glad you stayed on the spot, Larry. Satire 5, 21 out of 25. It is Larry. 21 out of 25. We got a double Larry. It's a double up Larry day. So I go, remember how you told me that shit about the underbelly being coated and it lasts for 10,000 miles? First of all, I was told by the dealership I went to in Oregon and the auto body place that you were blowing smoke up my ass here. So Amari, I want you. Wait a minute, I mentioned his name. I shouldn't have said that. 254A, 24 out of 99. 254A, 24 out of 99. So first of all, Amari, I want you to know you made me feel really stupid for believing and nodding up and down that that was actually a thing. And I go, second of all, the clutch is burned out and you guys sold me a lemon. And I'm not even sure if it's going to be covered under warranty yet. So guess what, Amari? If it's not covered by warranty because it's a wear issue and that's not normally covered by warranty, you guys are going to be paying for a brand new clutch, or you can take this car, shove it up your ass. And he's like, but Scott, it has diminished value now because you wrecked it. I said, how did you know that? Don't worry about those things. 270B, 7 out of 75. 270B, 7 out of 75. So now I got a diminished lemon. I have a diminished lemon is the moral of the story. So if you're gonna buy a lemon, don't let it get crashed into the rear right when you first buy it. Okay, that's the story, and it's still not finished yet. I'll have a final wrapped up story sometime in late January when I get the car back from having a new clutch, and hopefully, if I drive away in that car and I smell cancer, I'm just gonna drive it off a cliff. That's what I'm gonna do. Shoot, I'll probably do a high roller board in the winter and can drive away in that fucking car. That's probably what I'll do. I'll run a high roller board and the winner gets the car. So that's the story of the brand new car that I haven't really even driven yet. How about that? How about that? It took me a while. It took me 9 boxes. It took me 9 boxes to get through it. 31 out of 99, 271A, 31 out of 99. Amari was apologetic, and I said, look, you shouldn't tell your customers it takes 10,000 miles for a burned clutch to wear off. That's for sure. And he's like, you're right, sir. You're right. What can we do to help? Well, give me all my money back. That's what you can do. And the chicken said, that's a good idea. There you go. That's the story of the brand new car. All right. What do you got for us, Russ? You got a better story than that?
No, it's a good story.
It's true. Girl, you know it's true. Long, long process. Oh, the lemons. The lemons. All new 6B June Swoon, 27 out of 99. 27 out of 99. I don't think the story's done yet. There's still a chapter that we don't know. Yeah, that's the other one. Tongue-tied Tina says, no way. 267A. 267. That's dollar bill scooping and scoring. And a satire car, 267A, 44 out of 50. I guess we don't have time for NFL spreads, so we'll have to do that during 40th. We will have to do it during 40th because we have a hit review coming up, and maybe a Blockhead Blake, 46 out of 75, 277B, 46 out of 75 on the Blockhead Blake. Let's go. Oh, boy. All right. So I want to give a shout out and thank you to Fancy Nancy, who I can't see comments over here on Facebook. Thank you, Nancy, for tracking. Nancy. Oh, look at Manny. Nancy says it's a low roller board. That's a 93 out of 99, 276A, 93 out of 99 on the banana hammock. That is Ashley. That spot's open next week. Let's go. Oh. Your car caught on fire. Well, I feel like this one's about there. Maybe when I drive it home, it will. Nancy rips Chrome 3 every week. Every week she's ripping a half case of Chrome 3, and she's been pulling plates like the chicken. She has been pulling plates like nobody's business. So if you want to play a Chrome 3 break, make sure and tune in there. How about an orange? Miles, 14 out of 25, 278B. 14 out of 25, 278B. Was that 10 boxes, Nancy? Just double checking that. Did you track 10? Because I remember, huh?
So, because I counted 10 at the Sapphire.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was 10. Just I didn't see a tracker on that one. So anyway, Nancy does the tracking on Sapphire 5. What does a tracker do? They track all the hits and they put them on GPK, GPKtracking.com, I believe. I think so. Why am I drawing a blank? Man, I'm gone for a week and I can't remember shit. Holy cow. All right, here we go. Here's your greens. Banana Hammock, June Swoon, Brady Matty, Chris Mess, Hittin' Ronnie, Miles Smiles, Tongue Tied Tina, Reptilian Lillian, Haunted Forest, Banana Hammock, Haley Comet, Dunbell Dunny. But remember, if you want to take the challenge, play this spot next week. If the 1 of 1 hits, you get a sealed box of Sapphire 5. That is the challenge for next week. If anyone wants to take that one. Monte Carlo, Brainless Brian, Dotted Lionel, well done. Martian, have a nice day. Kettle Gretel and Busted Armand. Nancy is on she's on JJ's Breaks page on Facebook. She rips on YouTube. If you need help finding her, let me know. That is Nancy, the fancy one. All you guys know Nancy by now, but if you don't know her, let me know. If you're interested in Chrome 3, Chrome 3 is Sapphire 2, half of Sapphire 2. That's original Series 3. 46 out of 75. And she has been on a plate tear lately. Like 2 plates in a row, Nancy. Is that true? Modern Art, Royal Flush, Blasted Billy 2, Gladiator Glenn, Haley Comet, Jay Prey, Milky Wayne, oh, Bulls Ira, Reptilian Lillian, Monte Carlo, Brady with Brandy, and Elastic Elwood. Oh, Interweb went down. Okay. Thank you, Nancy. Tongue Tied Tina. These are out of 50. Tina, Jackpot, Philip, Stretch Stacy, Monte Carlo, Miles Smiles, Clip Claude, Chris Mess, Billy Bling, and Adam Boom. Look at that stackage. How many goals did we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a little heavier on the goals, I believe, than normal, and that probably explains why the lacking on more purples would be the heavy golds. Good golds though today. Good golds. All right, Shuffled Sherman. That sounded like Rain Man a little bit, didn't it? Miles Smiles. Good golds. They're good golds. Lick Larry. Sandy Claude. Kettle Gretel and Broom with Bruno Mars. And the stars of the show, Bent Brent in the purple out of 10. And then, of course, Lance doing the pee-pee dance on the 1 out of 5. Congrats, Lance, on that bad boy. I feel like Lance has snagged the last 2 reds in the last 2 breaks. I think Lance got a red last week, too. All right. Here is the plan of events. For today, how today's going to go is Rusty's going to get a hold of these, crack them open. We're going to go live and rip a case of 40th anniversary. Give us about 10 minutes on that. Once we're done with 40th anniversary, I'm going to do 2 40th boxes. Now, Sapphire 5 crowd. So what I'm looking to do is kind of add a 3rd break. If there's not a lot of interest in a 3rd break, which would be digi breaks on Whatnot, and Facebookers, you can join only if spots don't fill. You can join then, because I'm going to run not dollar starts, but like $25 starts. And if they don't fill at some point, then I'll reach over to Facebook if anybody's on over there. So I'll dual stream the digi breaks. If there is interest in a Sapphire 5 digi after we're done with the 2 40th digis, just pop on here and tell me, hey, Scott, run a Sapphire 5 digi, and we'll try that out too. So the 3rd break that I'm looking to add each Saturday at the conclusion of 40th would be 2 to 3 boxes of 40th digi. We could even do Sapphire 4 digi. So I'm just Rusty's like, Scott, that's just not enough work for me. He's like, we need a little more work here. I'm like, well, let me see if I can add a 3rd break. Sapphire 2's gone. Sapphire 3's gone. Sapphire 4's gone from the normal break channel. I used to do 50 boxes of Sapphire 3 and 50 boxes of Sapphire 4 every Saturday. So we had a long show. So I'm just looking to extend it a little bit. And if there's interest, we'll do it. If there's not interest, then I'll pull the plug on that 3rd break. And Rusty and I will just do a circle jerk or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure something out. So anyway, so that's for today. Tomorrow, Calvert Cards is off. Next week, though, holy cow. We got what Rusty has declared the biggest Whatnot show ever next week. So we got next week is Sapphire 5 and then 40th. and we'll still do a couple digis at the end. And then on Sunday, the final MLB 3 break on Sunday at 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock on the East Coast. And then shortly after that, we're going to do $100 starts of sealed product. If we get to 70 people viewing, last time we did this, we had 66. Only 4 more people need to pop on at any given point where we have a total of 70 viewers on at one point. I will give away a 40th anniversary sealed box or a Sapphire 5 sealed box. One of the two, not an empty box, a sealed box. So that will be during the the Whatnot show next week. I've got a lot of new stuff. I got an MLB 2 box I want to do a digi of, 40th digi, Sapphire 2, 3, and 4 digi. I got Bookworms, Vacation, Chrome 3. Shit, I even got a sealed vinyl figure. I got all kinds of shit. I bought another collection out. We're going to run a bunch of that shit on dollar starts. It's a little bit of gambling for me, which I don't mind, but I bought the collection at a reasonable price. So I'm just going to throw the kitchen sink at you. We will run digis. We'll have giveaways, MLB stuff, Sapphire stuff. That is going to be next Sunday. Rusty, what is it going to be? The biggest Whatnot show of all time. You hear that from Rusty's.
Let's go.
Let's go. Oh, I even have a View Askew box. SpongeBob. I know Anonymous on the breaks page is probably going to post something crummy, but whatever. We'll get over that. All right, guys. Have a good rest of your Saturday. I'll be live in about 10 minutes once we get these ripped and these cards put away. And I'll see you soon on the board. Thank you, Nancy. Take care, everybody.
All right.